All right, guys, let's be real. Let's be real. Bitcoin is not in the best of positions, but everybody and their bloody grandmother is very, very bearish on Bitcoin right now, and with good reason. I'm going to be going through all of it. I'm going to be talking about the dollar. My God, the dollar. This is insane what's been going on with the dollar lately. I'm going to be talking about the S&P 500 and a bunch of other stuff that you guys want to hear from me. But really, this one's about just leveling with you guys and just acknowledging some of the realities that we're faced with right now in this market. We are at a support level right now, which, really, it's not a comfortable level. It's not a very nice area for Bitcoin to be at. We tested it once right here, again over here, again right here, and now we're consolidating, right? So we've got the classic setup for the market to plunge through a floor. This is exactly what happens before big dumps generally come. I can show you many, many examples of this. It didn't actually happen on this occasion right here, but it's very common. Here's a pretty good example right here, ladies and gents. I want to show you this right here before I get to some of the other stuff, because I actually have an opinion here, which, I think some of you guys are going to find to be fairly controversial, but it doesn't really matter to me. And the reason for that is just the fact that everybody is jumping on this bandwagon right now. So bear with me while I go through this, but take a look at this. Look at how quick these bounces were, right? I mean, we don't really hang around at these levels off this support line right here. We're kind of, coming down immediately, bouncing up. Yes, we did fake out, but I mean, this is the 4-hour time frame. So we literally spent just half a day down here and then came back up on all of these occasions. Look at this, very, very quick. But the final time we're hanging around, look at this. We do finally kind of, we do initially get a little bit of a pump up, but it doesn't last. The market comes back down to this level. We plunge below it. We still kind of chop around this area, and then we break down. So this is generally what the market does before it's about to break a support level, right? Look, let me show you another example right here. If I drop a horizontal line at this support area right here, look at how quick the bounces were. Look, quick bounce right here, another quick bounce here, another quick bounce here. We're not getting those bounces on this occasion, though. The market just kind of consolidates at the low, and then it plunges lower. So very, very typical. Why am I making this video then? Why am I making something that potentially sounds controversial that goes against the herd? Well, ladies and gents, it's exactly that. When everybody is saying the same thing, everybody's kind of on the same side of the market. Generally, to me, that's just where alarm bells are going to be going off. We look at the fear and greed index. We're at a reading of 20, guys. I mean, this is pretty low. It's not as low as I'd like it to see it, but it's pretty low. That's today. Yesterday, we were in extreme fear. Last week, we were in extreme fear. And last month, we were in extreme fear. We have been hanging around these areas for a very long time, and again, it's for really, really good reason. We have the dollar just absolutely blowing up right now. This is the most ridiculous, it's not price action obviously, but this is the most ridiculous movement I've seen in the dollar, kind of in my life. And the thing is we actually haven't had anything like this, with the dollar for quite some time. I mean, the last time the dollar was this strong against other major world currencies was in 2002. So, I wasn't even a year old at this point. That was a very, very long time ago for everybody here. And that is definitely having an effect on the market. And this is not taking us by surprise. You guys are going to remember, if you've been hitting up those likes, staying subscribed to this YouTube channel, ladies and gents, you're going to know very, very well that I've been saying for a long time, if the dollar is able to clear this kind of area right here around kind of 106, there's a very easy rally for the dollar up to 119, 120, and that is where we can potentially expect to find some relief for our markets. And this is where things get a little bit concerning, because we're basically only halfway through kind of fulfilling this gap right here. But I just don't see any resistance on this chart. I don't know about you guys. Let me know in the comments if you see any reason for the dollar to stop moving up right now. Politically, economically, that's a whole other discussion, which I'm not going to be getting into right now. But just looking at the technicals, guys, I don't see anything that can stop the dollar right now. When the dollar rips, it generally tends to go really, really fast, right? The thing is this, to me, it doesn't look sustainable. We are in unprecedented times and all that. I'm not going to give you the whole speech about it, but this is quite a unique time for the world and for markets, right? So we could be doing things that are quite irrational, quite exuberant in particular directions and so on. But, even then, we generally don't see such huge moves that stay, so consistent. We've already kind of outdone the last move that happened, in I guess the lead up to Trump's election or something like that. We've already kind of overdone that. We've done more than that right here, and there's nothing similar to that kind of rally for the dollar that I can see up until, I don't know, like back here in '08, or potentially what happened back here, and this is definitely something that the dollar could end up doing. And I think, again, that could really impact the market. We're seeing this reflected with the S&P 500, but again, the S&P 500 is actually in a similar situation too. So take a look at this. I want to show you the S&P 500. This is where things get so interesting. We did gap down. I mean, this is nasty, guys. I mean, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. This is about to close in about 20 minutes, but this was a hell of a day, a Friday as well, right? I mean, look, I'm not trying to say things are perfect, but the bottom line for the S&P 500 is that this is a support level. We've only tested it once. We're down to it again. The real support that I'm seeing is going to be a little bit lower, but this is a support level nonetheless. A very, very steep drop. You guys hear me saying the same thing when we're going up. I didn't call the top right here, but I did say I was expecting at least some sort of kind of reversal, not necessarily a top, but something which could take the market a little bit lower. And so this is the thing, is I was saying the same thing when the market was going up. I was saying, look, S&P 500 generally doesn't rally too much like this. It does have to pull back. It did pull back. We found support at the exact two support levels that I outlined, one being this yellow box, one being this green box. We even found resistance at the same areas that I've outlined. And now I'm saying the opposite, guys. We have been dropping very, very steep, steeply. And I think that, this can't necessarily go on forever. Again, when people are most bearish, this is something that I definitely want to be paying attention to, because I am seeing people just really, it's fashionable right now. If you look at YouTube comment sections of my videos, of other people's videos right now, and I want to make this point really clear. I love you guys very much. You know the deal. This is nothing personal, and I obviously think that the audience that we have with this YouTube channel is far superior to any other YouTube channel on the platform. But this is YouTube. We are all retail. I'm retail. You're retail. We are not experts at what we're doing. At least not like the much bigger players in the space. And so when I see comments of everybody being in broad agreement that Bitcoin is going down to $10,000, that Bitcoin is going down below $10,000, that we're going down to 3 or 1, and so on, that when a YouTuber puts out a post like, could Bitcoin go down to $1,000, and it gets engagement and people actually kind of believe it, that is a deep level of being bearish in the market, ladies and gents. And again, I just want to point out that this is happening while we are at support levels. We haven't actually broken below support. Guys, the dollar has rallied so high right here in this market. But take a look at this. Look, I want to overlay a chart right here. I forgot how to do it. It's right here, yeah. I want to overlay the dollar index right here, and I just want to show you where Bitcoin was at various different points for the dollar right here. So take a look at this, ladies and gents. This is going to be very, very interesting. When Bitcoin hit this low for the first time, the dollar was, let's put a line right here. Let's actually use a different chart where I don't have any drawings. Let's use BLX. Bam, right here. Remove this drawing temporarily, and all I want to do is put this all into perspective for you guys, because this is where the picture becomes very, very powerful. Something that you can't really miss. If we just plot lines where Bitcoin bottomed, take a look at where the dollar was at various different points. I mean, the first time that Bitcoin hit this price area, the dollar was sitting at about 104. Okay, so that's 8 points lower than where we are right now. 8 whatever, I don't know what you call these units, but it's 8 lower than where we are right now. The next time Bitcoin fell down to a higher level, so it's at a higher low, the dollar was actually in a stronger position. And again, and again, and again. This is showing me essentially a bullish divergence, right? Bear with me. This might not make sense. I'm going to show this to you with the RSI as well. We're all about opening minds on this YouTube channel, guys. When everybody is swinging left, I'm looking right. I'm not saying I'm going right, but I'm looking right. I want to see what's going on the other side of things, and that's exactly what this YouTube channel, what this YouTube video is about. If you appreciate that, if you find this kind of stuff useful, guys, do me a really big favor. Just smash up the likes here if you are enjoying it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've got the bell icon checked as well, because that way you get notified for these videos. And before I get to this next little bit here, which I'm super, super excited to talk about, I do want to highlight Bybit to you guys. You already know the deal. Bybit is the main exchange that I use, the main exchange I've been using for many, many years, pretty much since, I don't know, like 2018 or 19, and they are offering you some really, really cool cash bonuses. I think it's like $4,000 if you sign up using my link in the description. So that's free money. You don't necessarily have to use the exchange, but you can get those bonuses anyway. So it's well worth checking out. All you have to do is follow my link in the description, pause the video, come right back here, and then we can get going here, because I think this is a really, really cool opportunity. The market is absolutely shitting it. Any sort of extra cash you can get is obviously really, really cool. And they have everything. They've got absolutely everything. Like I said, I mean, this is my main exchange, and it is so for a reason. So go ahead and check it out with the link in the description if you're interested in that. And just while we're there, guys, BitGet also offering you guys like $8,000. I think Bybit's like $4,000. BitGet is like $8,000 in bonuses as well. So combined, you're getting over 10 grand, right? So, you know, a lot of money, well worth checking out as well. But let's bring it back to the video here really quickly. You know, like I was saying, guys, you know, Bitcoin is in a position here where while the dollar keeps getting stronger, you know, Bitcoin isn't necessarily tanking. That's very different to the kind of picture that we saw before, you know, the kind of picture that the Bitcoin versus dollar kind of correlation, you know, looked like before. I'm not going to show it on this chart now because I've already, you know, got everything mapped out pretty nicely. You just have to take my word for it or open up the chart yourself. You know, is that generally when the dollar has been rising, you know, Bitcoin would be getting absolutely screwed. And it is getting screwed. You know, Bitcoin went from $25,000 down to, you know, basically 18, you know, within, I mean, not a long space of time. I mean, just over, you know, 40 days, something like that. I mean, really, it wasn't too long at all, you know, for Bitcoin to do something like this. But again, you look at what happened to the dollar in that time, guys. The dollar absolutely skyrocketed. If I put a line right here, wrong line. If I put a line right here, you can see that the dollar was down at 105 when Bitcoin was at this high. The dollar's climbed so high since then, to highs that we haven't seen since minus 8 years of Bitcoin's existence, basically, since 2002. You know, the dollar is incredibly strong right now, but Bitcoin is okay. Bitcoin is okay, ladies and gents. I just want to make sure that we are acknowledging these kind of facts in the market right now, because the next thing that I want to show you right here is going to be with the RSI, and we're starting to see some pretty undeniable things right here, ladies and gents. You know, we are looking at, actually, I'm not on the right time frame for this. I'm not sure if this is going to show on this chart. I might need to zoom in a little bit, but we are looking at an RSI, which actually just bottom line, I know you can't see the number right now, but the number on the RSI is 44. Bam, look at that, 44. We're basically in neutral territory. You know, you would think with all the sentiment and all the bearishness in this space right now that we would be a little bit lower than 49, but we're not. We're in neutral territory right now with the RSI. We actually, I can't remember where the divergence is. Let me, yeah, it's right here actually. So I'm just going to use one line to kind of show you, you know, how the market is trending, and then we look at the RSI within a similar kind of time frame. A little bit hard to show, but the overall trend is pretty clear. You can see that generally the RSI is kind of punching in higher lows, while the price is punching in, you know, I can move this line down here. It starts to make a little bit more sense. You can really see, just tracing my crosshair, that the RSI keeps moving up while the price keeps sliding down. You know, so this is quite, you know, this is a bullish divergence, and what this means essentially is, I just want to remind you guys, the RSI means relative strength index. You know, so this is an index of Bitcoin's relative strength, so relative to where it was trading previously, and it's based off the previous 14 candles. So you know, if you don't know what that means, that's fine. You don't necessarily need to. If you want to learn about it, I cover all of this stuff inside of the 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Academy, which you can get by following these steps on screen right here. We still do things through Telegram. We don't even have a website for this. We might bring one later on, but you know, I like the fact that you guys can talk to me on Telegram. So you know, if you follow these steps on screen, just these 3 clicks, super simple, no download, no sign up required, you can talk to me, and I'll get back to you. If I can't respond, one of my assistants will, of course, but that's well worth checking out, because you can get access into our 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 Academy course, and that's where we cover all of these things as well anyway. But you know, this is a potential warning sign, because you know, with the RSI showing us that the market is gaining relative strength while we're dropping, you know, that is something that potentially hints that actually we could be ready for a little bit of a reversal. And this doesn't necessarily work this way all the time, but you know, it is an interesting early warning sign. It is happening while we're at a support level. It is happening while Bitcoin even though it's dropping, I think the thing that people are really missing right now is that things are actually really, really fucking bad right now. And we all know that. We're all on that page. Everyone gets that. Things are really, really bad right now for markets. But Bitcoin hasn't set a new low, ladies and gents. And that either means we massively overshot this low. We shouldn't have fallen down this low in the first place, which I actually agree with, or it means that Bitcoin is exceptionally strong in a very, very weak position right now. I also agree with this. I think this is more likely. Even though I think that this dump was far more aggressive than it had to be because we fell below $20,000, we fell down to 17.6, so we still haven't swung below this low. This was a very, very aggressive drop. It still kind of made sense, right? That we drop at least down to 20. You and I were expecting that. If you've been watching this YouTube channel, you're going to know I was calling for that for a very, very long time. But to swing below it a little bit of a fake out, it's not really, the most surprising thing in the world, is it? Bitcoin fakes out. Bitcoin punches above resistance levels, it deviates, and then it drops back down. It punches below support levels, deviates, and then comes back up. It's just very, very common price action for Bitcoin. And, I think this is kind of what it boils down to. If you look at Bitcoin on a sideways channel, which I've got painted for you on this chart right here, it's pretty clear to identify. Let me just move the RSI off the page as well. We don't need this anymore. Zoom in actually as well. I think the 4-hour time frame is a little bit more sensible to show this to you guys. Bitcoin's still kind of in this sideways range. You know what I mean? Like, it's not actually, I don't know where all this doom and gloom is coming from. I almost feel like it's a little bit, premature. And again, it's just the fact that everybody is feeling the same way. To me, I'm just not super comfortable being on that same kind of wavelength as absolutely everybody else. We still are in a sideways trading range. Yes, we deviate. You could even bring this line a little bit lower down to 24. I think that would be fair, so you could show that we deviated from the top as well. Totally fine, totally normal. But at the end of the day, with all of these factors at play, it's just one of those things where I want to make sure that we are kind of taking a step back and just reminding ourselves where we're at. Now, like I said, if we do end up losing this area, one of the big reasons people are calling for levels like 10K and lower is simply because we don't really have support, right? If we zoom out onto the 1-day time frame and we take a look at what happened, when we were, basically trading between kind of $11,000 and $20,000. If I just draw your attention to everything that happened within this gap, right? Within everything between these two price levels, you can kind of see that the market, just generally doesn't hang around here. It'll go all the way up and all the way down and all the way up and all the way down. Again, a couple fake outs here and there. But even when we, kind of finally broke the $20,000 all-time high in 2020, it was pretty much a straight shot. It did take a little bit of time. It was a process to get to the top. It was about 30 days to get from, 12,000 to 20. So it obviously didn't happen overnight, but there wasn't, what we didn't get was, something that sent us back down and then we kind of chopped around a little bit and then we moved up. That would then tighten the range. I'd have to move the range up here to show that actually, over here now we're just kind of very quickly, zipping up. That's not the case. This is a very, very big range. And what that means is that when we're moving up, we're not really finding any resistance, right? We didn't find any resistance here. On this little bounce right here that Bitcoin got with its dead cat bounce, there wasn't really a whole lot of resistance here either. Yes, it did kind of, get a little bit of a setback, but it was super quick. It lasted only a handful of days. It really wasn't that bad at all. So we take a look at this in terms of resistance, and yeah, there isn't very much. And so naturally we have to flip that. If we're looking at dropping, yeah, we could end up dropping by quite a bit. And this is the other thing that I want to warn you guys about, though, is that, if things do get bad again, and if actually, we do end up dropping, well, what that would mean to me is that, the dollar has been gaining so much strength, and this hasn't been reflected in Bitcoin yet. That might mean that there is a pent-up move. There is a move that is ready to explode, is ready to really just come out and erupt. And that could obviously be what sends Bitcoin, basically to halve in price again, or drop by like 30, 40%, something absolutely horrible. And it would make sense given where the support levels are. So I just want to, I want to make sure that we're on that page right there. That obviously, if things do end up dropping, it's pretty bad, and you can see why that might be the case, why it might be bad. But again, guys, at the very, very same time, we are at lows. The S&P 500 hasn't swung below its lows. I think that's a really powerful thing as well in the market. Like I said, this, the gap down. Look, they're not good signs. The short-term market is not showing good signs. But it's as soon as we start doing things like zooming out. We look at things like the weekly time frame. We look at things like the monthly time frame. It actually becomes a much more compelling image that shows us that, to me at least, things just aren't really that bad. We can still dip down by even a little bit more and still be okay. And again, I think that does have some bearing on what's going on with Bitcoin. What I think is interesting is that the speculative markets, Ethereum and all that, have taken a little bit of a hit. If we take a look at Ethereum on, let's call it the daily time frame right here, Ethereum has, kind of been sent down a little bit. It's lost quite a bit of strength against Bitcoin, so there is definitely that fear. There is some level of exuberance with the market rising up. By the way, you guys will remember I made that video about the Ethereum merge, and I told you guys that we'd probably just kind of dump right afterwards. I mean, that was pretty obvious. I think most people got that. Hopefully you weren't kind of getting, swept away in the waves of excitement in the market. And that would have obviously been a mistake if you did succumb to that excitement. And again, that's exactly what this video boils down to. This is why I want to be real with you guys, because we're doing the same thing in the other direction right now, as far as I'm concerned. And yes, we have good reason to do so. The dollar is doing some crazy stuff and so on and so forth. So I totally get it. But we are still, I think, just a little bit too far weighted to the downside right now in ways that, quite frankly, I just think could be unrealistic. So, for me, I'm still looking to see, do we break down below this low? We're not in a good position. So short term, it absolutely looks like we might do. If I look at any of my indicators, they're going to be showing me that we're in a bad position. 4 hour, we've got some Ichimoku resistance. Daily, we got absolutely destroyed by Ichimoku resistance on 2 separate occasions, and I was highlighting both of these to you. And so there, that's at play as well. Daily momentum, it's all not good. I'm not, the facts are still here. I'm not trying to ignore them whatsoever. But again, what I am trying to do is just be hyper aware of almost the arrogance of bears right now. I mean, they're not really getting what they want. A lot of people are taking on short positions, but what's the market doing? It's just kind of holding levels right now. What happens if there's a short squeeze? What happens if there is a situation where the market ends up pumping up and a bunch of short positions end up closing? The only way you can close a short position is by buying Bitcoin. And by buying Bitcoin, you're going to push the price up, and that's going to end up making more short positions have to close out. The risk of something like that right now, I think, is also very, very high. These are things that people just are not thinking about. And that is why I really wanted to take this opportunity to highlight it to you guys in this YouTube video. I'm maintaining a fair bit of neutrality in this video. I still don't think Bitcoin's in a good place, and I hope I'm making that very, very clear. But I absolutely think that too many people are too far gone in this direction right now. It's what you do to get likes right now, especially in things like comment sections. If you just be the doom and gloom guy, I do not like to be in broad agreement with the sentiment that I read on YouTube comment sections, and that applies to this YouTube channel and every single other YouTube channel I've seen. The fact is, if you're on YouTube, you retail. That's it. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean you're bad at trading or you make bad decisions or anything like that. But you are retail, and being retail means that generally, we know the numbers, guys. 90% are going to lose money, and they're going to lose most of their money as well, right? So you start seeing that you agree with everybody. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, ladies and gents. And that is really, if there's anything I want you to take away from this video, it is that. There is comfort in agreeing with everybody. And if that is the kind of thing that you seek, don't be a trader. Go find something else. Go find something that you're actually going to enjoy, because this is not the place for you to seek comfort. This is the place for you to seek money. And you're not going to find money if you're doing those very comfortable things. Again, these are things that I go through inside of VIP and the 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪�ึ And like I said, Bybit is offering you guys, I think it's like $40,000. I'm not actually sure on the number, but it's a lot of money in bonuses when you sign up using my link in the description down below. So go ahead and check that out. There's also a video that shows you how to claim your bonuses. I'll just make sure that that's in the top comment just below the like button and all that good stuff as well. So if you are interested in getting that free cash, go ahead and check it out. Like I said, when you pair BitGet with that, you're getting over 10K in bonuses. It's absolutely ridiculous. So do take advantage of these offers while they are available. If you want to jump inside VIP and all the good stuff, then these are the steps on screen. And there you go, a fairly interesting video. You know, like I said, I haven't been making videos for a little bit. As you can tell, I'm now back in my main setup, back in the HQ in Dubai. It's very nice to be back. It's beautiful here. It's so nice to be back, especially after an extended well, it wasn't too long, but I was spending a little bit of time in the United States, and my God, what a beautiful country. The US is probably like the coolest country in the world, in my opinion, but it also has a lot of very messy things going on, and so it's so nice to be back in the sandpit, as we call it over here, where everything is reasonable. People are normal again. You know, there's no crazies out here. It's just nice, normal people. And that is always very nice to return to. So we're back in full swing. Throw up a like on this video if you're excited for that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day. I'm out. Bye bye.